a little bit warm in my room. I use my notes to like, oh my gosh, like I care. Sometimes. Anyway, hey, it's coping skill video, not on a Tuesday, so we'll call this coping skill video. So wanted to get back on track, and I did not want to miss this video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Recovery Record app, and that app is it's a eating disorder recovery app, and it is a very awesome app. I'm going to use a judgment word on that one. So basically, it's a place for you to record meals and snacks, and you can also log thoughts and feelings in the moment. So it's pretty awesome. It is also a way to manage goals, to plan your meals for by exchanges and things of that nature. It's a place for you to keep track and kind of build up essentially kind of like a nice little electronic coping skill jar, and you can put them in and it'll sort them by like uses, and you can enter in coping skills. I also learned a little bit late that they have templates with like ready to go coping skills, which I was sort of frustrated by. It took me a little time to figure out, and once I figured it out I was like, oh my gosh, this is super easy. And then you can also connect with clinicians that you are working with, therapists, nutritionists, psychiatrists, whoever is invested in your recovery and treatment can be involved. And the cool thing is you can get messages from them. And then it's also got some places, it has a place here where you can see other people's coping skills that people have contributed. And then I can like them and then add them in for my own coping skills to use. So that one's actually kind of cool. I figured that one out, again, kind of late. And that one's not as intuitive to figure out. There's a helpline. Oh, and then there's also, every 28 days it asks me to fill out the eating disorder evaluation questionnaire and the clinical impairment assessment questionnaire. So those are in there as well, which is super helpful for my therapist, and it's also kind of been interesting for me to see improvement and progress, that sort of thing. So yeah, really interesting stuff on here. So that's the basic overall aspect of this app. Now, let's talk about the obstacles. So this app is really interesting. It has DBT coping skills in there already ready to go, which I really like. And then I can like read my messages, which really are interesting. Just a quick review of something that I talked with my therapist about with this app, because we connected on it purely for the video, and now we're using it because I've really kind of liked it a lot. Anyway, the weird thing is that the messages, when you send them, look a lot like sending a text message, which has its pros and cons. So it's interesting. This app is kind of cool. It sort of replaces, paper. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they basically, you'll have like a paper, it'll be like a piece of paper, and it'll say like, what meal, what time, what day is it. It'll say, what did you eat, any behaviors, and then thoughts and feelings. And so then you like fill it out for each meal and snack or any time that you eat. But taking around a piece of paper this size with me everywhere is rather cumbersome, and it's also sort of embarrassing. So I really like the discreetness of the app, because one thing that I can remind myself about the app, especially like if I'm on the metro or, at a restaurant or a cafe, anywhere, even at home. It's really easy because my phone is always with me, and it's super discreet. I can just be like, nobody cares what I'm doing on my what I'm doing on my phone. Nobody cares. Like, nobody's reading, and if they are, like, so what? It's probably never going to see them again. And I'm probably more aware of, like, when my friends are not watching me on the phone, and if I'm with friends, I'm probably likely not to mess with my phone anyway, and I can do it later, and it has some really awesome reminders. Meal planning. It's awesome to most extent. Like, the meal plans are a little bit difficult. You can add in, like, the exact foods. It's something I haven't quite played with enough yet. I do like that I can put in my plan in terms of, like, exchanges that I am aware of that are good for me. And I love that I can just put the exchanges in. One, because I'm aware of it, and that's just good for me. But then it's also, I know that there's ways for me to put in what my exact plan is. So that way maybe it's important for me to discuss and say, like, why or why not I didn't meet those exact plans. So, yeah, meal planning. Also, another awesome obstacle that logging and it. So, essentially, one of the things, like, on paper, it's, you're writing down what you ate rather than, like, it's cool to have this aspect of, like, I'm logging and I'm also seeing, like, what was my plan and seeing how I may or may not have met that plan can be super important. And it's also like, oh, I didn't have a fruit. This could, and having that quick moment of, like, how is that going to impact me? Am I feeling full? If I'm not feeling full, I could have a piece of fruit right now to help. So I can pause my logging, have a piece of fruit, and then come back and, finish my logging and be like, oh, I'm definitely comfortable with what I ate, or maybe I'm not, and realize I ate too much or not enough. And it's really cool to have both of those things in one app alongside logging. So what are some of the obstacles it creates or that are still present? So like I said, I've connected with a therapist in this app, and it is awesome. Like, so I've used this app several years ago. I think when it was, like, first starting, it was a hot mess. This app was a hot mess at the beginning. It was so hard to navigate. It was also, like, buggy and not pretty, and it was an interesting mess. It was a great attempt at the beginning, but they've fixed things, and they've kind of really come a long way in this app, and this app is awesome now. But I've never connected with a therapist or a nutritionist with this app. So having now connected with a therapist who can see, and we can customize, and she can add in coping skills, and she can send me messages, and I can see that she's seen my logs, like, really adds this layer of, like, purpose and meaning to logging in real time. And being able to do it without, like, all the clutter of paper, really, really cool. And it also, because I have been struggling recently, it's a lot easier to continue recording and tracking when I'm struggling. It's weird when you're struggling to do it on paper, and to have it on the phone and just quickly get it out that, yeah, I feel disgusting, or that I feel shame or guilt, and type in my quick thoughts and just send it away. Like, don't have to look at it again until we want to revisit in therapy. Like, super great. Like, real-time information. A+. I really like it. It just is super great. And it's also great for my therapist that in those moments, like, if she's checking it, like, every couple of days, or if she's checking it before our sessions, she's able to see, no matter when she checks, like, what's going on for me. So she can send me a quick message to say, hey, don't forget to use your diffusion coping skill. Or why don't you, don't forget, maybe go for a walk. It's a beautiful day. Take Dylan out, or, something like that. She can send me those quick reminders about coping skills and distraction techniques that can be super helpful and really meaningful, and it creates a space for those missed opportunities in treatment to no longer be missed. So, with that, let's get to the rating. So, in terms of ease to engage, 5. Super easy. There's definitely a couple of hiccups I've had, but once I figured it out, awesome. Just takes a couple of things and you just start figuring things out. You just gotta play with the app. Obstacles. I give it a 4. There's one thing that's missing. It is a as a client, I have to have a smartphone. I know my therapist only uses it online, so awesome that she can do it from her computer, but I still need to have my phone. In order to enter in coping skills, I have to have my phone. So patients who don't have smartphones and access to, I think it's Apple and Android only, might be more. If you don't have a smartphone and access to the app, if you have like a bit more basic phone or the app's not available to you, you can still record your meals and snacks online. You can't do much else. It's very simple online for clients, which is kind of a bummer. There's no way for you to access messages or pair up. There's just a lot more that's available on the phone. So I'd like to see full access on the website for clients as well. I'm not sure if there's like a HIPAA issue there. That's something I'd be interested to see or discuss as to why it's not available online. It's not something I've found yet. It's the explanation, but it's just a missed opportunity. So there is still that sort of obstacle that's there. Availability, 5. It's a free app, so if you have access to a smartphone, it's a free app. There's ways to also log your stuff online. Super great. It's awesome. And what kind of a day can I use it on? I could use it on my worst day, so it's a 5. That's the point. You're supposed to be able to use it on your worst day, and I have. And so my average, I give it a 4 point, averaging it out to 4.75. It's essentially a 5-star app. It's fantastic. It's a great app. Highly recommend using it. Even if you can't connect with a clinician, it's a great app. Connecting with a therapist or a nutritionist and getting that treatment team just really is a great way to start engaging and feeling that motivation to start, moving towards recovery in a way that works for you. I don't want to say meaningful or something, but just workable recovery. So you don't have to have a clinician, but having one does some great things. Not having one, still an awesome app. So, and I know like my therapist enjoyed. I think it's interesting. I think this is a really cool app. It's got some great opportunities. So, anyway, that's all I have. So, yeah, that's your coping skill app for this week.